this video, I'm going to show you how to self-manage Airbnbs without even living in the same city, and more importantly, how to automate the entire process. You're going to want to stay all the way through because every second is going to be power-packed and giving you what you need, all real stuff and no fluff, on how to get your first and really how to automate this business, because you can spend 20, 30 hours a week on one property. I did this early in my career when I didn't understand the automation. So this video, I'm going to show you the softwares you need before you get your property, then after you get your property, and really what omnipresent means and how we can make this, no matter if you have one property or if you have 30 properties, you're going to spend less than 20 minutes per day running the entire portfolio. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you're going to need, and that is you're going to want my script. Now remember, we're talking about prior to getting a property. So the first thing that you want to get, and you want to get it in PDF form, is go down underneath the description of this video and you're going to see my script. Now, this is the same script that I've used for many, many years. It is also the same script that I give my students. Now, why is this important? Because this script will get landlords to basically start eating out of your hand to work with you. It goes over everything to make the landlord comfortable. What do we do? How do we do it? How do we solve the problem? Because when you get to the psychology of the homeowner and understand that you are doing this to solve their problem and it's not a burden. See, a lot of people ask me, Mike, why would a landlord allow me to do an Airbnb in their property? The question is not that. The question is, why would they not want you to Airbnb in their property as opposed to a traditional tenant? Because we're solving the two biggest problems. Number one, we're going to protect their asset like it's our own and keep the property in for sale condition the entire lease. And number two, we're not going to dig our heels in. We're not living in the property, so they don't have to worry about eviction. Okay, that eviction process on normal tenants is very, very bad. On top of that, but keeping it in for sale condition the whole lease is a landlord's dream. So don't ever think about like I'm burdening the landlord. You're actually doing the landlord a big, big favor. So my script is below. You're going to want to get that onto a computer, okay? Put it and pin it at the top as one of your browsers. Number two, you're going to want to go to Zillow.com, okay? Zillow is where I found my properties at. It is also what I teach my students because Zillow is one of the largest in the United States for finding properties for rent. There's also Realtor.com and there's Craigslist and Facebook, but those tend to have a couple scams. Everybody is verified on Zillow.com, and you're gonna want that software as well. Number three, and you're gonna want AirDNA. Now, let me be clear of what AirDNA does. I'm gonna tie all this together, but AirDNA is the blood to our body for humans. If you don't have the blood or the air in your body, you are toast, you're done. Same thing with airdna.co, because airdna.co will basically help you with the numbers. It'll help you with the market. It'll help you understand what other people are doing within a 2-mile radius that are already Airbnb, right? So if you wanted to get into a plane, when you got sat down, they said, hey,
welcome. And they said, hey, listen, when you guys sit down, just be careful because we're going to have some massive turbulence. The right engine is having issues.
Do you stay on the plane? No, you get your ass off the plane quickly. Get your ass out of there, right? Same thing here. This is like driving a car without brakes. Do not get into Airbnb without using airdna.co. And I'm going to tie all this together and show you each thing and how it's beneficial. So these are the softwares you're going to want prior to getting your first Airbnb. Now, after we get an Airbnb, let me give you two softwares that are very, very helpful. And that is this. Turno, that is turno.com. That used to be Turnover Airbnb, and essentially they condensed it to Turno. And now what this is cleaners from in that city will come in and basically get themselves onto this platform. They are Airbnb cleaners. When you go onto this platform, Turno, you can essentially automate the cleaners so they know when to go in and clean the property, they know when the next person's coming in, and they know when they're leaving so they can clean it for the next guest. This is the automation, and I'm telling you something, this has saved hundreds of hours by just not having that communication between the cleaners and myself. That's a great software. I'm going to tell you this because a lot of people say, well, what about maintenance? You can find somebody in your city at thumbtack.com. And I'm going to tell you something. Probably over the last year, we might have used maintenance once or twice through the entire portfolio. It's not something that you're going to be using all the time. But just in case something happens and you're running a business, you have an Airbnb in Chicago and you live in Florida, and you have somebody there that could put on the e-lock on the front door, which we're going to talk about in a minute, or maybe you need somebody to go in for clogging a toilet, whatever. You have that personal thumbtack that could be a handyman right there. You can find them right there in the city. Also, remember, any maintenance on a property that's major is actually the homeowner. We're just renting the property, guys. So any maintenance, whether it's air conditioning or garbage disposal or dishwasher, something like this goes wrong, you contact the landlord and they send somebody and fix it. It's not your job. You're renting the property, and their job as a homeowner is to take care of the maintenance on the property. But if it's something small and you want to have somebody go in and take care of it, just do it instead of bugging the landlord, okay? A lot of times it's easier just to handle something small like that as opposed to us stirring up something big, if you know what I mean, okay? So those are some softwares you want to use after. And I'm going to tell you another one that's really, really good, and it is called Minute. That's M-I-N-U-T. Take off the E versus the regular minute in time. And this is a game changer. And that is a detector that you put inside the property that detects noise and detects smoke. Very important, right? You don't want people there smoking their property. And if it is loud in the property, you'll be detected on your cell phone to basically allow the guest there to say, hey, listen, guys, we have a noise ordinance at 10 p.m. here. The reason for that is this. You get enough complaints from neighbors that are coming in saying, hey, the place is real loud. It must be an Airbnb. Everybody's partying all the time. You're going to get your Airbnb shut down. This device is so good at detecting the noise and the smoke that you're not going to have any issues by having that device in there. And at least if you do, you can minimize it and you're not going to get a lot of complaints. So I highly recommend putting it. They're like $94 or something like that online. It's worth every single penny. Okay? So now, the other thing that you're going to want is an e-lock on the front door. Okay? And Schlage is a really good one. Okay? You can get the combo that actually has the video. And also it has the punch code. Now, you can't run a business from a different state or a different city if you don't have an e-lock on the front door, unless you're doing like the little, the little key lock on the front door where it's got a punch code. You want the one that is an e-lock. Why? Because you can change the codes for each different person and guest that comes in, as well as it double backs as a video. So you can see on your phone, when you connect it to the Bluetooth, you can see everybody who's walking into the property at all times. So you can see how many people are going into the property, A, and B, it's very easy to punch in the code electronically instead of going in and trying to find a combo lock and then punching it out. So Schlage is an awesome one. They're like $195. You put on the front and double backs as both benefits. These are things you're gonna want to do. So you got your e-lock, Schlage, which combos as an audio, a video, and the e-lock. You have your Minute machine, which is going to be inside to detect the smoke and detect the noise in the property. You also have Thumbtack that is used for basically for your maintenance if you need it at all. Okay. You also have Turno, which is going to be for your cleaners to automate that process. So they go in, they know exactly, because they have a calendar within a platform and you have a calendar, and you're going to connect your calendar in Turno to your Airbnb account. So they know when to go in and when to clean. It's game changer, guys. Also, you're going to want Zillow to find your first property. You're going to want AirDNA to check the numbers before you get the property, and the script, most importantly, to send the landlord to get them interested. We talked about the script. The next thing is to go to Zillow. How do we take the script and we put it in Zillow? Very easily. Whenever you're selecting a city, let's say we're talking about Philadelphia, go to Zillow, type in the city. You're going to see on there that there's a section on the right when you have all your rentals. When you click on any of the properties, you'll be able to take my script and copy and paste it into the ask a question box, like you're sending the owner an actual question. Then you hit submit. You're going to do a few of these in each different city that you think that you want to start an Airbnb business in, okay? Now, when you do that, remember you want to check the numbers. Just because a landlord comes back and says, hey, I'm interested, doesn't mean that the numbers are going to be good, right? So we take the address. Once a landlord comes back after sending out the scripts, we're going to take the address, because they're going to be sending you an email or a text saying, hey, I'm interested, or let's talk, or let's get on a call. Take the address, go into airdna.co, and then you'll be able to check to see if the numbers make sense, okay? Now, you're looking for a market grade. AirDNA will tell us this. Market grade above 70. You want to make sure that your occupancy above 60%. You want to make sure there are more than 250 people that are Airbnb in that city, but less than 10,000. Okay, you want to make sure your average daily rate in that area is above 150. Guys, I just gave you the gems right there. Okay, if that is not a gem, then I don't know what is. I know what is a gem for me. If you got value out of this video so far, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me. That way I can come to you every single day and continue doing videos for you and your family. Okay, now, you're going to check, it's going to have your annual revenue income once you put it into AirDNA, that address, okay? So it's called a revenue calculator right there. You have your annual income, divide that number by 12. Now we have our monthly. Take out $800 for cleaning and utilities, minus the rent payment, and that will give you the number that potentially you can bring home after all expenses, okay? And so this is really, I just gave you the insider, guys, of what my paid students get. That's the tip of the iceberg because I want to bring value to you every single day. Amongst every other person that's out there doing videos, I'm the one person that's going to give you the insider stuff, not the 30,000 foot view, but actually in the weeds so you know exactly what you're doing every step of the way. Now I'm going to say this and finalize this video by telling you this. One of the most important things when you're getting into Airbnb is to have that paid software, whatever you do. On AirDNA. My students get my software for free, by the way, okay? I pay $2,000 a year for it. Don't get the free version, okay? If you get the free version, you're going to get skewed numbers and it's not going to be accurate numbers. And please remember, that's like getting into a car without brakes. Don't do it. Make sure you get the paid software, or if you and I work together, you'll get the executive level absolutely for free. Now, I'm going to tell you one more thing. The last thing I want to share with you, which is very, very important, is that you want to be omnipresent. Let me give you an example of what that means. You want to be on multiple platforms, not just one. I think a lot of people make this mistake and they're like, let me just get my property on Airbnb. You've got Airbnb, you've got vrbo, you got bookings.com, you got Furnish Finder, you got Flipkey, you got Marriott Homes and Villas, right? You got PeerSpace. These are things you got Expedia, you got TripAdvisor. These are platforms that you should be on. It's very simple just to take your pictures and your profile and your description that you did on Airbnb and just move it to a different platform. Now you got people that are coming in from different platforms, not just one. So if you want to increase your occupancy, take what I just said over the last minute, put your profile, your property, address, details, and description, and just mimic it from what you did on Airbnb onto each one of those platforms. And now you're omnipresent and you're getting guests from each and every platform. And that is how you raise your occupancy. My name is Investor Mike. If you got value, again, do me a favor. Put a thumbs up here, smash the like button, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because I come to you every single day to make sure that you're going to win in the game of Airbnb arbitrage. If you need help, put the word Airbnb in comments, and I personally will reach out to you directly. God bless. Be safe. I'll see you on the inside. Let's roll.